Hello Aries, welcome to your March 2018 reading. My name is Camille and you are watching Millennial Tarot. Still doing my $5 reading, so if you want to get a more personal reading from me, go ahead and email me below, millennialtarot1@gmail.com, and we can just talk about what you need and how it all works. I'm going to be doing the same exact spread and everything that I've been doing from my last several videos, and at the end pulling an oracle deck card from the Alana Fairchild Wild Panion Oracle. Also, please do, to the extent that you can see it, enjoy this beautiful snowfall that is happening. Alright, let's see what is coming up for you, Aries, in the month of March. Birthday month for some of y'all. Ready to commence with the new zodiac year because you guys are the first sign. So how exciting! Alright. But March, clearing up what has happened in the last 12 months. All right, one more. Well, two more. Alright, I felt like that was premature. Let me do some of this. Show business, right? Gotta see the mistakes on air. Alright, that feels better. Okay, so sadness, but not without its growth. So we're coming into this reading with the dreaded Nine of Swords. And then we have in the present position the major arcana card of Taurus, your sister sign, as well as the Hierophant, which means many things on its own. And then we're ending off this reading with the Knight of Cups. So generally, Aries, the arc for this story is you've been heartbroken, thinking about something so super anxious. You're finding solace in either Earth-like tendencies, with Tauran-type tendencies, or Hierophant tendencies, which is he gives solace and he guides, large masses of people. He's kind of like the Pope or like a minister, and he has a community. And then the Knight of Cups offering you that emotional relief. So to drill in, the Nine of Swords, which I'm not even going to emphasize because it's in the past, and these dark, dreary cards don't need a lot of explanation, Pictures speak louder sometimes. Anxiety, not being able to go to sleep, really thinking about something hard, the swords being everything that's happening in your head. It doesn't necessarily have to be a perfect mirror reflection of what is actually going on in your world. It's probably not actually that terrible, but how you were choosing to think about it is really terrible. It also just means like I'm not getting out of bed, agoraphobia, my bed is my safe space, I'm staying home, I'm not getting out there in the world, which is very counterintuitive to your Aries sun spirit, your ego needs. If you are a sun sign, you want to get out there. If you're a moon sign, you're compulsed to really get your emotions out there. And if you're a rising sign, your identity to the world is to be out in the world. And you have not been so much. And sadness, heartbreak, whatever surrounding that sadness is, you are finding solace through right, steady action. And it's the perfect marriage between the major arcana Taurus, which is what Hierophant stands for, and what the Hierophant just in the regular tarot deck means, regardless of astrological tendencies. The Hierophant provides structure, he provides solace. He is the opposite of the Nine of Swords in that he commands a crowd of people and trying to lift their spirits. This is you going into scripture, this is you going into spirit in whatever way you can. This is you looking at tarot readings or any type of astrological blogs and horoscopes that are trying to make you feel better, and these things are regimented. And though the Hierophant does, can represent dogma and the more traditional notions of religion, and if you are that type of person, then you may be finding solace in those more stricter, religions and those more stricter type of guidelines and rules. But the Hierophant generally just provides guidance through higher-minded thought, through higher-minded thinking. And then when we marry it to Taurus, Taurus is taking more slow and steady steps, where you may find yourself completely immovable. Taurus, is the promise of things getting moving, but slowly. Taurus is not a rushing sign. Taurus, the bull, takes its time. And it's the perfect evolution from sitting in bed, not moving, crying, and being upset, and just saying, okay, I'm going to put my foot in the water and test out and see what's going to go on. And so when we think about how can we marry that Taurus energy to the Hierophant energy, what this really looks like to me is you taking things one day at a time and choosing to be guided by your inner guidance, by your moral compass, by anything that you've read, really delving into self-help books at this time, really delving into where can you feel like you're part of a community, the Hierophant ruling large communities. This could be a volunteer community, this could be a spiritual community, an artist community, and really finding solace there and getting out of this I'm alone mindset that you might be going through. You certainly aren't alone, and the Hierophant is here to show you that way, and both in remembering that you are not the only one who suffers, and that the guidance he offers, his guidance he offers, not just to you, but to everyone who has gone through what you're going through and who has paved the way to your recovery, but also because he rules over people. People are always constantly trying to find advice and where they belong. So to the extent that you can let that off of your shoulders, you're not alone in this experience, you're not alone in going through what you're going through, and know that when you reach out to people, it could be your friends as your community, it could be your family as your community, it could be your literal community, neighborhood, and really try to put in some face time. It doesn't have to be like, please help me. It could be like, I'm going through a rough time, or it could be simply, what are you doing today? Taurus ruling those pentacles type things, sensuality, food, wine, our comfort, our space and our money, and trying to relate to your problems in that type of way. Sure, you may not feel like, going out and being your airy self, you're feeling a little bit sad, but maybe you want to light a candle, and maybe that's all it takes. So really, March sees you pushing out of that solo dolo emo type of space, really seeing your jewels and your gems as being in community with others. It doesn't have to be big, and really seeing your recovery coming through not anything dogmatic, but definitely through structure. Taurus, more than any sign, needs structure. Taurus is not just like, whatever. Taurus really likes steps. Taurus really likes, what to do next and all those things. So when you're coming out of a period of depression, a period of anxiety, a period of heartbreak, it could be hard to just get back into the world and kind of rough it. So if you can find some type of structure, whether it's I'm going to choose to meditate today, or I'm going to choose to drink this type of tea, I'm going to choose to reach out to this person today, and really take it slow during this time and know that you are being guided inwardly. And that's all going to accumulate into this Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is a somber type of man. He knows that you've been through things, and here he is offering you this cup, which is, representative of emotions, representative of love, drive, desire, or dreaminess and intuitiveness, which may have been locked away when you have been more in your anxiety, depression phase. And the Knight of Cups offering a solution to that by offering a new, entryway for a new emotional endeavor. And he's here to offer you that cup. I get that all this may have culminated, all this is going to begin and, gestate and kind of, whatever, materialize in this Pisces through Taurus season. So we're talking, Pisces started February, March, April, May, when Taurus ends. And the reason I say this is because the Knight of Cups here has his fish little garb on, and fish is the animal or the glyph, I think. But yeah, fishes represent Pisces. And so I see in Taurus representing the other side of you, Aries. So you're kind of in this Pisces-Taurus sandwich. And so you can take the lessons of Pisces, take the lessons of Taurus, and merge them into your own Aries identity and what that looks like for you moving forward. I'm going to pull clarifying card. Okay, here we have the Four of Swords. So where we started off with the 9, we're finding help through others, we're finding help through scripture, we're finding help through structure and through our comfort and our material surroundings. That's offering us a glimmer of new emotional hope to get out of it. And instead, this is a beautiful image, instead of being up at night, crying, I'm hanging at my swords, I'm just so upset, we instead evolve into this more proactive and productive way of looking at our issues, which is this card of repose. He is introspective. He is thinking over what he did that he cannot do again, what he did that he should be doing again, like what he should be doing. And it's a card that traditionally represents a guy coming back from war and revisiting his battle strategies. This guy is not doing anything besides perseverating in his heartbreak and being upset and sad and not being able to go to sleep. There's nothing productive coming from that except for to get your emotions out, but not to dwell, you know? Dwelling means swelling, and when we have swelling, we don't move. All that stuff, we want to be free, we want to be limber. And then we have the Four of Swords, still representing you're in this place more of rest, you're taking things one day at a time, you're not really getting out there with your Aries go-getter spirit, although that could be lightened up for you as we enter your birthday month, because your sun homecoming, the sun shining on you for that time of the year that it does, will really spark that hope for you. So know that if you're feeling this way still, even though it is in the past, as your birthday season approaches, know 100% that it will dissolve because the sun will be shining on you, and the sun doesn't take any of that stuff. But to the extent that you may not be feeling, oh, I'm totally footloose and fancy free, that's fine. You're at least resting in a constructive way now. You're at least asking yourself the important questions. You've gotten behind or out of the emotions of it all, even though swords do represent intellect, but our emotions inform our thoughts, and our thoughts inform our emotions. It's a feedback loop that we can never get out of. But you're out of the more distressing parts of it, and you're here now, maybe even praying, definitely meditating, and taking the more spiritual approach to your issues. And that will see you coming out of it, and that will see you being offered this new glimmer of hope and this new emotional beginning. So I'm going to go into this Kuan Yin to see what else I can offer you after I unlock my knees from each other. Once more, one last message for you beautiful, beautiful Aries. That is the drawing. Keeping it simple. Your mind may convince you that manifesting your destiny is more difficult or complex than it needs to be. Yet, the guidance of the Divine Mother is to keep things simple, as a Taurus would, to be honest. To keep things simple. Do what you can do and leave everything else. This is, I love it when the Kuan Yin comes in with literally everything I just said. How can we imbue the traits of the Hierophant and Taurus, which is the zodiac sign that it represents? Keeping it simple and only doing what you can that day. Taurus does not rush. Taurus lights a candle and says, that's enough, that's all I can do. Taurus, drinks a glass of wine, it's like, fine, that's all I can do. It may seem difficult to get over the wholeness, the whole darkness of it all, but when you take it one step at a time to keep things simple and do what you just can do, you feel a weight lifted. Because if you feel like I have to get over this now, I have to do this now, I have to talk to this person, I have to, it's going to be way more difficult than it has to be. This guy is taking it slow. He's thinking about what he can do next. It's going to offer you, this guy is not in motion. The horse is plodding towards something very slowly, a new emotional glimmer of hope. The Hierophant is seated as well, hush, and about to offer a blessing or saying hush to the outside world. And the Hierophant represents those small structural things we can do. And also Taurus, which represents that slow, plodding bull that gets what it wants done, just slower. So Aries, as I see you coming out of this heartbreak, this disappointment, of this dark night, of the soul, just know that the actions that you need to take are simple. There's not going to be a whole rehauling of your personality or of your identity. I know that when we're going through things, we want to get over it now. I want to evolve now. I want to be like Jesus now. But no, and I'm knowing for you that as you take those small, guided, measured, and structured steps, however that looks for you, you will look back on the other side and be like, oh, I only did 20 things, but those 20 things has shifted who you are and how you feel about your situation. So I am knowing that through March, you're going to feel tremendously better about whatever was troubling you here with the Nine of Swords, and you're able to do so in a way that's guiding and reflective and really taking steps and listening to higher callings and listening to any people who may be giving you advice, and you are coming out on the other side of this much, much, much stronger, returning to yourself just in time for your birthday. This I know for you. So Aries, I hope that you like that. I hope that you will join me again in April, which is still your birthday month, a little bit, the tail end of it. And, if you need any questions about what's going on specifically for you, then do reach out for my $5 readings. Until then, you will be okay. I know this from you. I know this for you. Just do what you can in each day and know that that will be enough. All right, Aries, I hope this video finds you well.